So this one we talk about I think it just go through a fundamental of trees. So that's how I feel. And I mean, without further ado, we jump into establishing every single item. So I mean, the character that we're doing now is tree. But I'm not exactly sure if it's like BFS or DFS for this one. Let me see. I feel it's B, uh, um, DFS because I think it's a lot to do with having the formula to go towards the left, then going to the right. It's very DFS move. So I'll say that it falls under the category DFS. And we have spells that we usually cast for the most parts. And then we have certain rule books based on the Leetcode questions, a lot of them. And then we have our playoff series over here. And I mean, the whole core objective of this problem statement, I think at the end of the day, it just wants to run in order and give you this final output. So run in order based on the rulebook, and for this case is just that there is like a final output sample that's over here. As long as you kind of like hit it, and you're very good. So we have like this final output sample for us to take reference from. So cool. We can come into the playoff series at this current point. So what they actually establish is just these two main things: the pre-order and the in-order, and how pre-order we can run through how pre-order works fundamentally and at the very start. So let's run through this. So what's pre-order? Pre-order goes by the first root item. It's gonna like put input into this, and then you go to the left sides, and you check for left children, what not have you. So like it has like this some form of formula that's like ongoing. So I think it's nice if we actually try to actually establish that as well. So the pre-order establishment of like the operations is that add the add the value in, and then followed by add its left children. So it's left children. So it's sort of like if you were to actually look at it, like fundamentally what the main operation is actually running through is that what it's actually doing is actually just simply really comes down to the basic spell of tree, which is to actually do some of like recursive, right? It's a form of like recursive, and that you are trying to run this multiple operations recursive. Ultimately, that's what we are doing, and it's like basically the fundamental spell of a passive spell of like tree. So if you were to see, he adds the left child, and then he wants to add the right child, but for this case I think it doesn't have right child, so it's not gonna add like it's gonna try to add left child right child, there isn't, so it's gonna go back into the next item. So you go the deepest for the left child. So one thing is that whenever you go the left child, is that it will go the deepest in to it. So here is sort of done because this is the deepest one. So now it will go for the deepest of like the right child as well, go by the deepest. So I'll add the first value first, followed by the left child, and then we're done. We move on operation W, right child. So add the 20 on the first hand, and the next item is that we always go to a certain value, left child, right child, and if there's nothing, we go back up, left child, and this left child, I will try for left child, right child, but there's no item, so therefore we're only adding the 15. Go back up, left child, right child, and it's giving me the 7. So I think it's not necessarily that it got to be the deepest value. I think it's so much more to do with each time you go to a certain value, you make sure you go with the left child, right child. So that's what the preorder is. We go to the inorder. So now the thing is this one we go with the root, but as opposed to preorder, we actually always start off with like the left child first. So go to the 9, visit every single node on the left hand side. So for this one, the operation N is to do a lot with visiting. You first and foremost, you ignore the root. But this one, you add basically the root value. But this one, you ignore the root at the start. You what you do is that you're gonna like add the, you always ignore the root and go to the left child and add the value in. So ignore the root, add the left child, and then you're sort of like done. So what you do is that you reference towards the right child, but you don't necessarily straight away add a value. So before you do that, you ignore the root, you go to the left child, right? You add the left child, and I think before that you have like another operation of H maybe, that you insert the root value in. So remember the first time you ignore it, so now you add it into the root. So you add a 3, and then now you proceed back into reiterate again. You're gonna come to here, you're gonna ignore the root, you're gonna proceed to the left child, and so you're gonna add a 15. And remember, you just not ignore it, you're gonna add it back, so you add the 20, which is the item that you ignored previous, and then you're gonna reference from the right child. But for this case, I mean, this is very much the last item, and you're not gonna be able to conduct anything. Like all this is gonna be run through with nothing, and you're gonna end up in the same positions, and you're just gonna add the last value in, which is a 7th. But obviously, for if you were to see, it just follows the pattern of like recursive actually, you know, maneuver map on the tree area, right? And that it just run through all this established operation that we've come through. So that's the preorder and the inorder. And now we're gonna see why are we using this, and this Leetcode question actually allows us to actually do it, and payoff series to actually find it out. Okay, cool. So like what they did, they were like circling as a form of like results. So I mean, it's obviously they were able to actually run through in the order that they actually want, but I just gonna take reference from here. So as you can see, it takes on 3, right? It takes on 3. So it's basically gonna take the first value on the pre-order. Like it's gonna start from the root. Like I think what they're actually doing over here at the end of the day was to build this tree from scratch, right? So build tree from scratch, right? So I mean, obviously the first item that you really want is a 3, right? And how can you tell that where is my root? So based on like this whole entirety of, I think I'll call this like, to make it simple, is that this whole item is actually, it has its own formula. For pre-order, it follows under all this formula, and in order, like all the code in short for all these operations, it's been shortened to become this formula, right? So for I think most of like the tree coding, it will have like all this like different operations that is falls under this whole set of code, but at the end of the day is to actually achieve a certain result. And for each of these, it has its own specialty. And for this specialty, I would say that the specialty comes down to be able to actually know where the hell is like the root is. And for this case, it's because like for every first item, it's gonna be the root. And so this, how it actually know is that the first item is gonna be the sum form of like root, right? So now we go down to this. Obviously we want to establish a tree, we want to know where's the root. We refer to pre-order, we get the first item, we know where's the root, and then we can sort of like cancel it out because we don't need to care about it anymore. And also we also can actually take reference towards the Inorder list, which is where the item, the root is. It's an important information for us to actually know, so that we are able to actually split up into two parts. So obviously from here you can actually see there's one item here and three items here. So that means this is my root, and then this is my left tree, left subtree, and then the right subtree. So that's what's actually happening. And yeah, so like obviously we already settled this, and now we're gonna just insert the left tree. Like, I mean, there's only one item on the left tree. It's very obvious that how you actually gonna put it up, right? So like I'm just gonna like, oh, put my 9 on the left tree. Okay, we're done with the root, we're done with the left tree. That's in what in my mind is like actually thinking. So I'm gonna remove all this value, it's all useless now. We're gonna like sort of like recursive, like do something again, because this pre-order and in-order always have this formula that actually help us to actually have all these special facades that's actually happening. So we come to here. Obviously this item, we know it's the root, so we're gonna cancel this root because we know this is gonna be the root. We're gonna insert it because we know exactly where it is, and then it's gonna tell us another information that once again we're gonna come to here. It's gonna tell us this information that this guy is 1 and this guy is 1. Left subtree is 1, right subtree is 1. And then now cool. And obvious, we can actually remove this. We don't need this guy anymore. And we know this guy is the only left subtree of 20. And we're gonna insert I think this, whatever this NOR is referring to, is basically the 9. It has no subtree. So you're gonna insert the 50, which is the left subtree, and the 7, which is the right subtree. And there you have it, the playoff series. A side thing to actually talk about is that like, okay, I think a good way to actually put it is that in the past, like me, if I were to actually try to actually explain it and what not have you, I don't really have like the right terminology, the right analogy, the right ways, like terms for me to actually refer to actually explain this. I won't know about the character, I won't know about spells, I won't know about rulebook, the playoff series, the core objectives, the operations to it. All these items, it actually makes this whole problem very easily understandable for like a 5-year-old, right? But if like you were to put me back into the past, I won't be able to actually, like the difficult part is actually coming up with the terminology to explain all these different operations. That is like the hard part. So that's why like when you actually come to here, it's like it becomes very easy because we turn all these items, all these characters, the spells, we actually establish this over time. We create all like damage onto it, and that we have grown so much into it, and that the next time that we actually enter into like a legal question like this one, especially something that we've done for like maybe say a couple of times, then we are very much comfortable to actually talk about this because we have like the right terminology, Okay, it's another energy. It's like you're entering into like a battlefield with the right sword, right shield, right armor. You are fully equipped into the battlefield, as opposed to like in the past, you're not equipped. It's naked and entering the battlefield, no weapons and whatnot. You're gonna lose, right? So yeah, I think that overall we are just so much more ready at this point. So this is a side thing. I think fundamentally whatever we are doing, we're really it's a lot about doing we're abusing like each of this item. So um, like the side character, I would call this like this whole giant piece to be some form of like spell, right? Because at the end of the day it's just a spell, right? So and these two items is just a very much of a side character, and like each of the spell it has like its own utility. So like for this spell, it's to be able to actually find the root. And then for this spell, what is actually abusing is that because once you know where the root is, you actually am able to like at the end of the day, you are actually am able to actually because you're getting the intel of like where the root is, right? So therefore you are able to actually um, identify the left sub tree, and then we also, I mean, obviously we also have like the right sub tree. It's like one event causes another effect. So it's like we know where the root is, we know where the root is. Okay, then now we know where the left subtree and the right subtree is. It's like this two thing is like working hand in hand. This guy needs the root to be able to find it, and this guy provides this root. So I mean, at the end of the day, we are just abusing whatever like these side characters is actually able to actually provide for us. And one item to actually take note is that the rulebook from this Leetcode question is actually saying that, yo, can you please help me to actually create 3 like from scratch. Like the moment you tell me that, maybe say you can actually start thinking about, okay, maybe it's time to actually cast the spell, the pre-order and the in-order, because whatever the pre-order does, it's gonna help me to find the root, which is gonna be a very good of a starting point. And like fundamentally, like if I were to actually create a tree from scratch, what do I need? I need the root, I need the left tree and right subtree. That's all I actually need. And to this, like this side characters is actually am able to do that for me. This one creates the root. Okay, I'm gonna be able to add my starting point. Okay, what's my next step? I actually need to add my left subtree. So I'm gonna add my left item using in order, because it's gonna like help me segregate for the most parts. Create the lines, and I know that, oh, I'm done. I can start creating the right subtree. And then I start creating the right subtree, and then I sort of like sure, like I need to go deeper into a certain item, right? What not have you, right? So and one thing that I actually do take note of is that after it create 3, it create 9 and 20, right? And I just feel that it's like it has like some form of like system that is creating levels by levels, and that's very important for trees, because I think that's one of like the properties of tree, which is that it holds this properties of like going by level, one level by level. So I mean, tree in general, like the properties it it has is that it goes by level, right? So therefore, like the moment we accomplish 3, 9, 3, 9, 20, right, we go on to the next level. You notice how they actually try to actually insert the as if there's like a children for the 9, right? So here's the thing, like if say we create a 3 and then 9 and then the 20, right? If the left side has like certain values, we're gonna like do that. And I mean, obvious that we didn't play out that series, so it's kind of actually complicated to actually put it in words. But fundamentally, we do know that like 3, one of the properties is that it goes level by level, so that we don't actually miss out any values. And I believe each of these spell is gonna be able to catch it, like how it's I'm able to actually catch every single element at the end of the day. We're gonna trust these 2 spells, right? These side characters. So with that being said, is that it creates a 3, it creates a 9, it creates a 20. Yeah, I mean, like one of like the rulebook is like saying that it create a tree from scratch, right? So I mean, um, this item it creates a root. So it's gonna tell me the root, the subtree. So I mean, obviously it's um the 9 and the 20, right? Because this item actually tells me that, and this item is just tell me which item to sort of add first. So I mean, so the 3, the 9, the 20, and the next item is followed is 15, 7. But this item it just tells me where is it being placed, because it's gonna help me be able to segregate, right? So the first part we already know. So like on the later part, we know where the root once again where it is the 20, and it's gonna help us split it again, the 15 and the 7 left and right, and we are able to actually insert this and insert this. So fundamentally, we know where the root is, we know where left right is. We now know where the root is, we know where the left right is, and it just magically is just able to actually help us to actually build this whole tree from scratch, just using these few formulas. Yeah. So that's how we actually build this whole entirety of the tree. So if I were to actually break it down, is that this guy gives me where the root is, right? And this guy tell me where is the left side and the right side. Using these two things, we sort of build. I don't know. They just somehow are able to actually build the whole entire structure out. Very, very cool, in my opinion. I think, in my opinion, what's being left out the most, in my opinion, is obviously using the brute force to actually fight against our main character over here. So, I mean, for DFS, it's like a lot to do with being able to actually go down to the deepest of like the left tree, right? So, but we didn't really mention that explicitly, but we can take operation of like say pre-order, because I think it actually one of the, I think it's fundamentally it does you make use of like DFS to actually be able to actually function as a pre-order. Like whatever the code that is being coded up for pre-order, I feel like behind the hood it follows the logic of like DFS. So I'm gonna zoom into this. Yeah, like say operation Y, adding left child then followed by right child. If say for like brute force, it's not gonna know where is the child is. It's gonna from how I actually see it, like if it's like a F operation for brute force, it doesn't have eyes, it's just gonna add like this. But for I mean operation P or pre-order, right? Like for the pre-order, it's gonna know where the left child is. It's gonna add the left child, then add the right child. But for brute force, it's not gonna know. And if what if like the rulebook is saying that I want to add the left child and right child, I mean brute force, I'm gonna beat you out of the water. You don't suit to be in this picture. So that's how I actually am gonna try to actually fight against the brute force. I also noticed that they didn't really talk much about time complexity. Why not have you? Yeah, that's one thing I noticed when after solving this problem. I mean, yeah, I think there's not much. So yeah, everything comes to an end.